All right, here we go, y'all. What's going on? It is your boy E Beezy, Eric Buckner, and it's time for Game Time Audible. I'm in the building along course with my co-host, my partner in crime, the one and only sports guru, Hugh Lee. What's going on, Hugh?
What's good? How everything going today, man? Your neck of the woods.
Hey, we are hanging in there, brother. You know it's been busy, but in the process, I've taken some time to watch some sports, and I know you have as well. So we definitely will get into it. All right, now Scene checking in on the Vigo streets. My birthday's next Friday, based in town, Michigan. On the get a whole crew. That's what's up. They gonna be there. I'm gonna try to be there too, brother. So yeah, let me know a time and place. We'll check you out. Shout out to Nassim, part of my fam up there in the Vigo streets. But anyway, y'all, here we go. We about to talk sports tonight. Of course, the main sport we're gonna talk this evening, as you see, Hugh was already ready to get it in. What you got on there, Hugh? Let the people see
Oh,
what you
man,
got.
it's old school. Don't get it twisted for the guys like Pride and everybody who probably think I'm flipping the script, especially Sedville, man. Hell no. I am not messing with the Knicks. This is the only Knicks jersey I had that was close to my heart, which is AKA yours truly, number 20, Allen Houston.
Alrighty then, so that's that. So yeah, we are talking NBA tonight, but we'll be talking other sports as well, including the sports that you guys want to talk about. So y'all make sure y'all chime on in. Of course, as we always do at this time, we are going to reset, play the commercials and whatnot. And when we come back, we're gonna get into it because we got lots to talk about. NBA, baseball, we got some Olympic news for you, a little tennis and golf news as well. So we're gonna get into all of that when we get back. This is Game Time Audible. That dude Hugh Lee, that dude EB. Let's go.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Behind the Blue Curtain, Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. Unscripted talk on police reform and race relations.
And now, behind the Blue Curtain's law enforcement liaison, retired 32-year Chicago police veteran, homicide detective, former commander, sergeant, grant writer, lecturer, and adjunct professor, Joseph J. Mosley.
Behind the Blue Curtain's Minister of Common Sense, former 12-year Fort Worth police officer, educator, voice of reason, and unapologetic practitioner of sound judgment, the young scholar, LaRonda Young.
Behind the Blue Curtain's co-host, fact checker, and investigative journalist, Isidoro Rodriguez.
Look at that, David Ford, that's his name. You don't know Tom. Yeah. Yes. Oh, here we go. I can see the demons. I can't see the demons, but I can see the light.
We are creating black luxury across this country.
What up, y'all? We are back. GameTime Audible in the building. Your boy E Beezy, Q the Sports Guru, checking in. For those of you on the Bigo platform who want to check us out and see the full show, you can check that out at Eric Buckner on the FB, as well as Eric Buckner Nighthawk Network Detroit on the YouTube. So that's Eric Buckner Nighthawk Network Detroit on YouTube and Eric Buckner on Facebook. Okay. So that being said, let's get into it. What's going on, Hugh? You ready? You ready to discuss?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Okay, well, we're gonna jump right into it. We're about to talk NBA playoffs. Since there's so much to break down, we're just gonna kind of do it that way. Let's start out with this series here. Let's talk Clippers and Jazz. What's some of your observations of that so far, Hugh?
Really surprising how they played the first two games and how the Jazz won. It can easily be over with right now because I actually thought the Clippers had that first game. It got out of hand and they end up not pulling it off. I mean, it happens. The second game was a little more convincing. They lost that one. But to turn it over and go to LA, man, Los Angeles been handling their business at home, man. And when I thought for sure that it was over for them when Kawhi Leonard got hurt, Pandemic P, man, you know what can I say? PG-13 finally stepped up, man, and he played his role because he was always that second option. But for him to be the first option to do what he did and execute like he did, man, I couldn't even hate on that brother, man. He damn near pulled a KD, man, with the points and the rebounds and the assists. That was his team. So I don't think Kawhi is going to play again. So this is an opportunity for them to close out. And the crazy part is this is going to be tied into so much more we have to talk about too.
Okay, here's the thing, y'all. I need to break this down a little deeper. It's not just as simple as my brother's putting it out there. It's certain aspects of this we need to break down. First of all, we'll do Coco Love. All right. First of all, let's understand the Utah Jazz finished with the best record in the NBA. Okay, they were the number one seed, or they are the number one seed, and basically the expectation was this was the year they made it over the hump and started to show up and show out. Also, keep in mind, friends, that we got a Lakers team that was injury riddled, so they did not finish where they should have. You got a Clippers team that had connectivity issues with gelling. Keep in mind, there's many talented individuals on that Clippers squad. You got, of course, Kawhi. You got Paul Pierce. Not Paul Pierce, my bad.
Paul George.
Paul George, PG. And those two people are definitely Hall of Fame worthy at some point, you would think. But then some of the big players, I mean, take the Morse twin, for instance. Supposed to have been brought there for not only his offense, but for his defensive prowess against bigger opponents. You got, of course, Patrick Beverly, the irritant, the mini dark honey badger, if you will, that basically checks the big shooters, the little shooters, gets in everybody's skin. You got all those in between folks on that squad, and they're just not showing up the way that they need to show up. Because right now, this series should be over, in my estimation.
Yeah.
The Clippers
exactly
out game one tomorrow. But because of the fact that the Clippers have too many people on that squad that seem to show up when they want to show up and not happening on a consistent basis, that's why even though I do see them winning and beating the Jazz, in the end, it's looking like the Suns might very well make the NBA Finals because I don't see that working to the Clippers' advantage, except for a couple possibilities that we'll get into a little bit later.
Let's just hope Chris Paul will be eligible to play too, man. Because that's an issue right now with CP3, man. You know, with the whole COVID case, man. That's just to let people know it's still out there, man. So regardless, man, you can't run and hide from it, man. He basically played, got them into a four-game sweep. Next thing you know, reality sunk in, man. They were saying more or less the athletes usually won't be out as long, but the games they said he'll be out, I'm like, man, he'll miss most of the conference finals. I don't see that happening. But let's just hope that besides him and the Kawhi injury, that was two huge things that
okay, now you you'd have kind of jumped the gun with me on that one. I didn't really want to get into the Phoenix situation just yet, but I am want to introduce that. So let's go there. Understand, this was going to be a problem somewhere down the line in the midst of the pandemic. And yes, people, I will still acknowledge, though some people have, according to my inbox, would like me not to, the fact that there is still a pandemic going on. And because of that, I felt at some point COVID would definitely affect the playoffs. And clearly that might be the case in the case of the Phoenix Suns, because right now it is said that Chris Paul is out due to COVID. Understand, of course, that Chris Paul has been fully vaccinated. So the fact that he has COVID in and of itself is an issue. Understanding that the more people that see people like him who have been fully vaccinated still contract COVID-19 definitely does not help with vaccine hesitancy, because people are looking at it like, okay, if I get fully vaccinated and get COVID anyway, why bother? There's that issue. Separate discussion. But bottom line is, you think that because of the protocols that CP3 probably may miss the first couple games, and those are two critical games. But also understand that that team is well rested and a younger team that is well rested. So that plays into their advantage as well. So I still am looking to see what happens. I will almost, no, I ain't going to go that far. But if the Jazz somehow manage to get past the Clippers, I still don't see them beating the Suns.
I didn't trust the Jazz anyway. Utah this year being number one, I was actually shocked that they stayed consistently number one. One thing, unfortunately, happening too right now is when it comes to the injuries. When they played in the bubble last year, they didn't really get a chance to fully recover, man. It was like they were right back into the season. But Donovan Mitchell's injured right now. You can tell, man, he's shooting too many threes. Penetrating and bringing the ball up and, doing the easy baskets, because he's one of the best first step players out there, man. And with his quickness, he can easily get to the rim. Issue is with him getting hurt, he's not really trying to do too much, but he's shooting the ball, but he's shooting sometimes it's like ill-advised shots that he's shooting too.
And yeah, keep in mind, as you see with pretty much all these playoff teams that's left at this point, some type of injury scenario comes into play with all of that. Okay, we got Roll checking in. Hey, Eric, hey, what's going on, Roll the Starter?
What's going on, Roll? How's it going?
Out the Nighthawk Network. We appreciate you very much, Roll. Thank you for checking
in.
Always
love.
Always love. But yeah, so yeah, injuries do play a part in this, which goes to this next series, Sixers and Hawks. Now, understand, I'll take it this one. You figure at this point, this would have already been over. Remember, Joel Embiid has the knee injury, the partially torn meniscus, where understanding the fact that one, that is a serious injury depending on how severe the tear is, and two, we're talking Joel Embiid, who started out his NBA career with several lower leg injuries, foot, leg, ankle, what have you. So anytime that you have a leg injury to that young man, it's a concern. But apparently he is playing through it and actually playing very well. However, last time they played, that did not come into play so much because they had a huge lead in Philadelphia. And I don't know what happened, but suddenly you look up and boom, they lost. And it wasn't no severe, okay, I'm taking the game over scenario for Atlanta. It's just they chipped away, and lo and behold, they was there at the end. They can't let that happen. Again, remember, Philly is the number one seed in the East. They supposed to be playing better than what is that. And the Hawks not even supposed to be here at this point. Nobody saw them making it past the first round, but yeah, here they are with a chance to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. What do you think, Hugh?
The Hawks playing with house money right now, man. But then you got to give it to that team, man, because they got no quit in them. We all thought at one point, you remember I was talking to you when it came to the trade deadline, when it came to the players, we thought that John Collins was leaving. John Collins, one of the pillars of that team, man. We all see it now because I haven't really got a chance to see a lot of the Atlanta Hawks game. But now when I see him play, I'm like, man, that was the best move they made is to keep John Collins over there. pretty good player, man. Him, and then when you got Trey Young, man, he put up 5 30-point games, man, right now, and that dude's just been playing lights out, man. It seems like the big show and the big lights, it doesn't fade him, man. But then that whole nucleus around him, man, it hurt them to not have Hunter as one of the defenders and one of their guys. He was one of their henchmen, but I still feel like with Embiid and his injury, that plays a huge toll in this right now. But then at the same time, I was kind of looking at it too, and I was like, man, what's up with Doc, man? Doc left the Clippers, and the Clippers are in a better situation than the Sixers. But then I can't put it all on Doc. Yeah, Joel missed some free throws he shouldn't have missed. But at the same time, Ben Simmons is not being who he needs to be. I mean, come on, Ben, man. You can't make free throws. I think he had like 34% on free throw shooting. I mean, damn, at least DeAndre Jordan had 43. This is the worst free throw shooting in history, they said, in the playoffs. It's starting to get to the point where they're starting to choke under pressure, man. And this happened so many years with the Sixers team. So I'm just really to the point where I'm like, they need this game more than the Atlanta Hawks, because the Hawks showed that they could beat them on the road, but can you beat Atlanta right now when you're back against the wall? They play great in first, second, and third quarter, but it seemed like they always collapse in the fourth.
I mean, bottom line, I'm gonna break it down to simply this: on the Atlanta side, you guys do not have enough quality shooting to pull this off in the long term. What's going on, babe? That's why I don't see them winning this series. And if they somehow, by some chance, do, I don't see them getting past the next round, no matter who is on the other side of that. They're not quite ready. They basically are overachieving at this point. The Sixers, on this other hand, yeah, I see them going on to the next round, but I don't see them getting no further than that. Bottom line is, it's not Joel. Joel has continued to improve. He does need to work on being healthy more consistently, but beyond that, he damn near won MVP. The problem with Philly right now is not him, not Doc Rivers, not the bench that's surprisingly better than advertised. It is simply one man, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, I don't need you to do no Olympics. I don't need you to do no going out with Kardashians or any of that. What I simply need you to do, sir, is after the season is over, get in that gym and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and do free throws and shoot and shoot. Because you will never be a champion in Philly or anywhere else until you improve that part of your game. You are by far one of the best defenders in the league. You are one of the better big passers in the league. You actually have a low post game. What has basically cost you the opportunity to further yourself is the fact that you are not a good shooter. Period. Gotta fix it.
And he in the
Yeah,
NBA, man, you're a
a 65, a 70% free throw shooter. You, Ben Simmons, can do the same.
you're supposed to be a professional, man. You in the big leagues, man. I just feel like Ben Simmons is not playing at a high caliber when it comes to the offense. I just seen him do a lot of good defense in this series. I've seen him put a lock down a lot of people in this series. But at the end of the day, I just want him to do better when it comes to clutch. You know, everybody gonna double team Embiid. You got to get some double teams from Embiid, and now you're starting to look at Steph Curry and how great he's been playing. That guy's been lights out, man. And I just don't feel like with Ben Simmons not doing and contributing at the time when they need him the most, it's not looking so well. And they gave him a nice size contract too, man. I think if this year, if they do so happen to lose to the Atlanta Hawks tonight, they need to reconsider breaking up that team and shipping off Ben Simmons somewhere else and getting somebody a game changer or a contributor to the team.
I could not disagree with you more, Hugh. They got what they need. They just need to work with what they got, plain and simple. Ben, get in the gym. Okay, we got to address, everybody's popping in right now. We got to acknowledge our audience here, people. We got Helena checking in. Yes, the sports divas in the room. We got Ivy, we got Paige World. We got Paige Block, Beautiful Jim checking in on Bigo. Hugh wants to know, what's that ugly jersey you have on, Hugh?
New York Knicks out in Houston.
That's that much.
You
Okay.
know, sports, you know all in Houston, don't you?
We got Coach V checking in. What's going on, Coach V? Shout out to that brother. Okay. Helena saying what up. He saying what up. They saying what up. They saying what up. Naseem is in the building still. What's going on? We got everybody checking in from all sides. We appreciate y'all for checking out the show. We just sitting here talking some NBA playoffs. Boo, says Helena. Boo. Boo on the New York Knicks jersey. Understood. So what? He need to have a Washington Wizards jersey on? Is that what it is? Because last time I checked, Baltimore don't have no team.
Pretty much.
Let us move on. Okay, so yeah, that series, like I said, whoever wins that. I think they end up losing to the winner or the loser. Hold on, y'all. Oh, summertime, summer bugs. I got him, y'all. All right, I got him, Hugh. He won't be trying to set no more today. All right, so next up, we got the Nets and the Bucks. Now, this is the series to watch, y'all. Let me tell y'all, I have seen some very good play on both sides in this series. Out of all of the playoffs right now, any particular round, this particular matchup has given me the most pleasure. I basically love what Giannis did last night. He stepped his game up and showed why he is the two-time MVP. I definitely love what happened the game before when KD showed up and showed. Damn! What you think, Hugh?
This is a really good series. It comes down to who won it the most. The way KD played, man, I thought that it might carry over to the next game. He got a little cool. He cooled off maybe a little bit, but not a lot. It was just Giannis know what he had to do because that game he dominated for the most part when he was taking the ball inside. He got too comfortable, started shooting fadeaways, and started doing some uncharacteristic things that he shouldn't do, shooting ill-advised threes, which he should never do. And that's what I think took them out of that game. I think the coach wasn't really that good neither, man. I feel like he should have did better as far as the adjustments. Because when you got your foot on somebody's throat, man, you can't let them breathe. I just felt like the coach wasn't really giving it to them and telling them, hey, guys, we cannot let them get any life. They kept sticking around. And I said, hey, all they need is to make one good run in this game, and they could possibly take this game from Milwaukee. That's exactly what they did. I just feel like the last game, they learned their lesson. And now going back into Brooklyn, I want to see how they stand up and how Kevin Durant now, basically handled the challenge going back home on a game 7.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line is, in an ideal world, I need Giannis to stop watching KD highlights because oftentimes I feel like that's what he's trying to do, play like KD is playing, and start watching some more LeBron James highlights. Because bottom line, the way you are built with that type of speed, that type of power, that type of ability in the low post, more times than not, your game should take you there. Whether it's posting up in the low post or in transition, going down into the block and dominating and dunking on folks, that is the key to your game. That, and you need to step up on defense. Bottom line, KD, game 7, at some point, he going to get his. He going to try to take that game over. When that happens, I don't want to see nobody else. I don't want to see Tucker on KD. I don't want to see Middleton on KD. I don't want to see Lopez on KD. I need to see the former defensive player of the year checking Kevin Durant. Because if anybody can slow him down, because you ain't stopping KD, I'm sorry to tell you. If anybody can slow him down, it should be you, sir. In the end, I want you to be able to sleep comfortably at the end of game 7, knowing that whether you won or lost, it was not because of you. You did everything in your power to make it happen. And the only way you can do that is when that time comes, you say, Coach, damn that. I got KD. Let's go. And the same on the other end of the table. If it looks like Milwaukee coming to blow y'all out and finish it up, KD, it's time for you to step your full game up because you're a good defender in your own route. At that point, you say, nope, I got Giannis. Y'all handle y'all business.
I still think they're missing something though, E. I still think the Bucks is missing something, man. And I think that can help them out, man. Only if this guy can stay healthy because he's barely healthy whatsoever. But I think he will come at the right price, and they won't break the bank to get him, and he'll be happy to be on the contender, man. Victor Oladipo will be a good pickup over there.
You're not about to do that. You're not about to do that right now. I'm gonna tell you why.
They
The
need extra
hell,
help, man.
this season ain't even over yet, bruh. And you
Yeah,
already pulling pieces.
but at
We
the same
gonna get it
time,
anyway because it's already people saying, "Damn, waiting, we about to get it in now." Shout out to Boston. We're gonna get there in a minute. But no, you're not about to start swiping and swapping folks. Because in the end, damn what you're talking about. In the ideal world, scrap that plan. I'd rather see them go ahead and go to Portland and grab young CJ and put him on that squad. That's what Milwaukee really needs. You put Middleton on this side, you put CJ on that side, and you keep Giannis in the middle. They dominate. Next super team, right there.
yeah, that'd be crazy, man. But do you think that'll be the case though, man? With I think that I know Lillard wouldn't mind. He ain't too happy what's going on right now, and he wanted to deal with the coaches, and then the whole Jason Kidd thing didn't go through. So yeah, that actually is not that bad.
Well,
But
like I said, we gonna get there in a minute. Let's not skip and squat. That's taking us too far out the realm, y'all. Thank you guys on Beagle. I see y'all coming through and running the gifts. Appreciate it. H2, we see you down here. He should play and create his own game. Absolutely. Saying that about Giannis. I completely agree. Because in the end, you can tell he's working on his game. He's been working on his outside shot. Definitely, whenever Ben goes to the all right, babe, I see you. Whenever Ben goes to the gym, I need Giannis to go with him. And I need them both to practice with each other, against each other. They can make each other better. I'm just saying, y'all need some workout buddies going on. And y'all would be the ideal workout buddies for each other. Because the deficiencies in either one of y'all's game, y'all can help each other get better at. I'm just saying.
problem though, E, that's the huge problem. When you're a professional and you've been you're in the NBA and you've been there for the amount of time they have been, it's like, come on now, man. Y'all should be already on that, man. You should know your strengths and your weaknesses and focus on it because when it was time for LeBron James to do the same thing, his biggest issue was at the time was he needed to practice on his three-point shooting and just basically practice on certain things in his game. He practiced on it and he got better, man. And now we look at him like, man, he's one of the greats right now. The issue is with the Ben Simmons and the Giannis's, man. They hear how talented they are and how good they are as players, and it just don't seem like they fathom that and they don't really work on it and go to the next level. You always supposed to try to go to the next level of your game, but it's like, man, they have an issue. Like, come on, man, you got to make the free throws, both of them. They got to do better on just at least a perimeter game. I'm not saying shoot threes. Work on the perimeter game.
I hear that. But okay, got to do a couple things. First of all, shout out to Bay's World. Coming on Bigo, showing up, showing out. I see you, Bay. I see you, girl. You showing out for your uncle. Good looking now. Second of all, got to address what H2 has said here in the comments. Do y'all think the COVID has affected some players' game? Honestly, I do not. At least not as far as basketball is concerned. Keep in mind, basketball players overall are some of the healthiest athletes of all the athletes. Remember, because of the constant cardiovascular work that they do with the running back and forth and whatnot, basically the fact that they are using many of their muscle groups in order to run and rebound and jump or what have you. If anybody is going to effectively fight COVID off and be healthy in doing so, it would be a basketball player or perhaps a soccer player that does a lot of running as well. So no, I don't really think that COVID has affected the game, and actually I'm surprised that it has not affected the playoffs at this point to that greater degree. Chris Paul aside, because I really thought there would be more COVID issues going into this thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
But apparently that will not be the case. I'm actually surprised that baseball has not had a lot of COVID issues either in regard. But to answer the next question, Hugh, Nets Bucks game 7. Who you got winning that, boy?
That's at home, man. I definitely had them pulling it out because I feel like the momentum will be on their side. I'm not saying that they got the weapons right now, but I think enough for James Harden and the KD gonna have to pull out another big game like he did. I mean, they missing the Kyrie. I think his points will make it a blowout, but I think it's gonna still be like a close game, a closer game than we expect, with the Nets pulling it out and going off into the conference finals.
Bottom line, Giannis, I need you to do what you do, but for the Bucks, yeah, Holiday, time for you to show up, bruh. It's time for you to show up. Middleton then did his part. It's time for you to show up, Holiday. That's why they got you. On the other
Mhm.
end, Blake, how bad do you want the ring, sir? They're gonna need you. Yeah, like I said, you one of probably gonna start out on Giannis when they play. I need you to step up defensively and offensively. You want the ring? That's why you came there. It's time to show and earn and prove. Okay, those are the key elements. And keep in mind, in the end, I still see the Nets going to the finals at this point because somewhere middle of the next series they'll get Kyrie back. Keeping in mind that he had the sprained ankle injury, so sprained ankle is something that basically after a couple weeks you should be feeling pretty decent about. The key is how healthy is Harden going to be going into that next series. Because if all three of them are healthy, I don't care what Philly going to do. It don't even matter. And
Whatsoever.
the Hawks don't have enough weapons to stop all three of them. So
Not at all. Trey Young will have a good game and we'll be amazed at what he's doing. We're gonna see some highlights from John Collins, if that's the case. But
yeah,
I
and
just
bottom line, Kyrie versus Trey Young, that's a pay-per-view right there. I love to see how that play out.
yeah, because like you said, man, I think they playing with the house money right now, man. They play so good right now. Nobody expected for Atlanta to be here, and definitely how well they playing.
Okay, H2 is saying I'm going with the underdog, period. So that means you are definitely going with the Bucks on that one. There will be the underdogs in that one. And also saying how much are those rings worth? It depends, H2. From what I know, the Lakers rings that they had made up, their championship rings, they were a good couple 100,000 apiece. And keep in mind, oftentimes the players, after they get the rings, they customize them even further. They'll have like their initials put on them or things inscripted on the inside, so you know it's their ring. They may actually have a couple extra little something stone on there. And some of them actually have additional rings that they receive, so they give to family and friends. So yeah, it's actually people that ain't played an NBA game in their life walking around with Lakers championship ring right now because they got it like that.
Mhm.
I'm glad you brought up rings because keep in mind, me and Hugh are in the process of making up a little something for you guys here in the program. Yes, this year we will be doing our very own fantasy football league. That's right, the Game Time Audible Fantasy Football League. And one of the things you might win is what, Hugh?
One of them rings, boy.
And keep in mind, if the sponsors set us up correctly, not only will you win a ring, you will also receive your own championship jersey saying you are the Game Time Audible champion of the Fantasy Football League. And you will also receive a championship belt as well to denote you as the champion. Keep in mind that's if the sponsors get us together, but you will win all three of those things as champion. And of course, the second place person, we're gonna try to set them up with a little trophy as well. So yeah, y'all be checking out for that roundabout football season. We're gonna do that. And speaking of football, we're gonna kind of jump off the playoffs for a little bit. We're gonna go back to the NBA a little bit later, but when we come back at the commercial break, I want to talk about a couple football related topics. I know he was down with that because football is his jam. You know that.
Definitely cool with that.
H2 talking about I'm doing a fantasy cheerleading league. I got something for that. Hold on. I don't even need to address that. You don't need the Hugh. Atlanta, what the hell are you talking about? Cheerleaders don't have a league. It is not economically possible. I need you to rethink the situation. Little Bernie, you know how to check in as always sometime during the show. That was right on time. So anyway, that was Little Bernie. That, my friends, is Hugh Lee, the sports guru. I, of course, am E Beasy, the one they call Eric Buck, Uncle Nighthawk in these Beagle streets. And this is Game Time Audible. We'll be back to talk a little football with y'all. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
Don't go too far though. We're gonna be right back. Right back after
Night Network presents Pastor Sean Love. Pastor Sean Love, devoted father and husband, a residing pastor at the River Rouge Bible Assembly in River Rouge, Michigan. Join him as he gives us messages from God's Word, Bible study, and encouragement. You can find him on YouTube under Sean Love.
All right, we are back, y'all. GameTime Audible back in the building. There go that man, the sports guru, Hugh Lee. I'm E. Beasley. And now we're going to talk a little football because that's damn near part of the contract here. We don't talk a little bit of football, my man's ain't going to be as happy with me, okay? We're trying to keep the sports guru happy. You got to talk his sport, okay? So that being said, let's get a little NFL talk going on. Now, first of all, I need you to break down what's the latest going on with this situation here, Hugh. You know who we're about to talk about, the man that everybody talking about in terms of NFL right now, A.A. Ron. What's going on with A.A. Ron, man?
Right now, they still trying to reel him in. Aaron, man, he like, man, I ain't coming to training camp, man. Now they like, well, yeah, you know, if you don't show up, man, we're gonna find you. He like, man, do what you got to do. Joy Love been getting a lot of the reps, man, and I know a lot of his guys who are the wide receivers on the team are basically showing support too. And it's getting to the point where they're gonna have to settle and do something for him, man. They need to get that guy a new contract. Hell, they should have gave him a new weapon a long time ago. But at the same time, right now, it is not looking good. He could pull one of them Carson Palmers, man, and don't never even play this year and sit out and try to go to a new team if possible. But I definitely want to see where that's going to go because when the Julio Jones thing kind of faded away, all eyes is on Aaron Rodgers now. So I'm just really ready to see what he's going to do and what moves they're going to make to try to keep him happy, to keep him staying in Green Bay, which is still not looking too good because I know he got a few teams that he would like to go to.
Bottom line is, on the one hand, we got Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers do understand if you come back tomorrow and be like it's all good, you still got to work with your owners. Remember, unlike any other team in the league, the Green Bay Packers are owned by the people of Green Bay, not one particular owner. And right now, some of the owners not too happy with A.A. Ron. He is making a mockery. He is causing too much of the disturbance. Green Bay, all they want to think about is championships and cheese. They don't want to think about what's going on with A.A. Ron. Some of them already talking about, yeah, we seen Jordan Love in the training camp. He look all right. Let's go ahead and go with that. The coach is saying the right things. He's saying, yeah, we look forward to having A.A. Ron back. But in the end, we're going to go with whatever we got going. And the plan is to go with whoever's at quarterback. So in the end, the ball is in his court, man. Plain and simple. Either you come on back now and knock all this out so by the time training camp starts, we're not talking about it no more, or at least not as much. You play it out, and when training camp comes, you go and sit out, and you basically let old boy run the preseason and see what he got going. And if by game 3 it look like he's total trash, they'll be knocking on your door like, please come back, please, we need you. Or they'll be like, I'm going to roll with that dude. And you do what you got to do. We still ain't trading you, though. Because that's the problem. If in the end, Aaron Rodgers wants to be traded, I'm tired of these games, okay? It's time for Aaron Rodgers to get on somebody's microphone, somebody's podcast, somebody's get off my lawn, GameTime Audible, First Take, whatever the case may be, and say, look, this is what it is. I want out. And I'm tired of playing this game. I want out. And if they're not going to get me out, I'm not coming back till you do. And in the end, if you make me ride out the rest of my contract, I'll do that. If I have to retire early and deal with it that way, I'll do that. But bottom line, I'm not coming back, period. The reason why this is such a mess right now is because of him and how he's dealing with it on his end. They saying all the right on Green Bay's end. He the one causing the problem.
Yeah, because I've never thought that he had caused this type of turmoil, man, to where he just quiet and ain't really saying much. He, whispering behind people back because remember when all this stuff started, he was upset the way they got out to the media, but you were putting it out there that you had these issues, and then you know how it is, man. You tell one player might tell another, man, and it spreads like wildfire. I just don't really feel like he did enough to really, plead his case. When we found out Russell Wilson wasn't happy, what did he do? He manned up and said, "You don't listen, because I'm not happy. I'm not liking the way things going. I need to be protected. If y'all want me to be y'all franchise quarterback, I don't want to be to the point where I be like my man Andrew Luck get injured because too many people coming in and they're crushing me, and I'm to the point where I can't even perform at a high level no more. I need to retire." He said that, told them how he felt. They tried to get him like better people on that offensive line. They trying to draft, get him people, and they're trying to do what they could to make him happy. He had the weapons. It's just he needed the line. He can't keep breaking tackles and running away and doing those runs he do. And I feel like that was the case. That's what made things better over there. And you don't hear nothing from Seattle now. You don't hear him mumbling or saying anything. I just feel like he just needs to tell the truth, plead his case, tell Green Bay how he feel, and man up, man. Because like you said, he's the biggest problem right now. He's causing the most distractions.
I have to agree. Okay, H2 checking back in. Is cheerleading a sport or what defines a sport? Because we know curling is a wonderful sport.
Yes, it is. Where you go, man. Don't be mad. Curl is wonderful, man. I like the way they execute. I like the way they, how they keep that thing on the ice, how they sweep. I don't know, man. I don't think you get enough props in these, man. It's definitely very underrated.
Y'all through yet? Yeah, y'all done with the curling mess?
And we can continue.
The show
Even
that
right there, in the game, man, it's a close one. 86-81 right now. Philly been controlling the whole game, but that don't really speak volumes because we know what happened when they control games in the fourth quarter and what can happen.
yeah, that is shady. H2, you the shady one. Y'all know how stupid curling. Anyway, let us move on to real sports here, people. Yeah. Hey, Ryan, get it together, bro. Do better. Do better. And they're also talking about football. There is this thing called the Spring League, y'all. For those of you not aware, there are basically about 6 teams in the Spring League. They are consisting of people who are former NFL players, potential NFL players, former CFL players, Arena Football League. Basically, a nice mixture of folks. They basically getting some work in. It's almost starting to be viewed as some type of small scale minor league for football. Nonetheless, they are down to their last game of the season and it is tomorrow, and they are calling that game the Mega Bowl. The Mega Bowl between the linemen and the jousters. So if you are looking to watch some type of football tomorrow, I believe it's 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon on Fox. You'll be able to catch it. So check out the Mega Bowl. Let us know what you think, and perhaps we'll check in on that next week to let you know what went on with it. I'm taping it, so I'll try to catch it later on. Shout out again to the people in the Big O streets. We see y'all. Thank you, thank you. Okay, that being said, I'm done with that. Hold on. When can I be a special diva guest? Well, my friend, I say we could definitely make that happen in the weeks to come. What do you think, Hugh?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. You know you got a home with us.
I have an ideal show for you, H2. I would like for you to check in on our Olympic edition. We will do an Olympic edition of Game Time Audible. As you know, the Olympics is coming up. And since I brought that up, Hugh, let's go into that briefly before we go back into basketball. But we still got some stuff in regards to that. But let's talk the latest Olympic news. Now, part of the problem is the games itself, people. They are saying at this point they are not certain whether or not they're going to allow any type of crowd into most of the Olympic sports. Keep in mind, the Olympics are less than 30 days away now, and Japan has not determined whether we're going to have any type of people viewing the games. Understand that right now here in America, we are slightly less than 50% in terms of full vaccinations of the country. Understand that most of the southern states in particular are having low vaccination rates. I find that very interesting. I'll talk about that a little bit more next week on Get Off My Lawn Live. But in the meanwhile, Japan, they are less than 25% in terms of fully vaccinated. So they are even less in regards to vaccination efforts. Now they have the vaccines that we have, of course, and they're also using the AstraZeneca vaccine along with some other Japanese form of vaccine that I'm not quite familiar with. But between those 5 vaccines, they still have a tough time convincing people over there, just like here, to take the vaccine. They don't trust it. Go ahead, Hugh.
That is very crazy. And I too to think that they wouldn't even try to be all in on that, knowing that they get Olympic Games there. And it's crazy not to have no crowd too, man. Because what you think make your Olympics? The crowds make the Olympics. I mean, we got to give love to the athletes too, but that's what make them go. We've seen how it was without having a crowd in basketball, baseball, football. It is not the same. We were so happy when people start filling in those arenas. Just imagine the Olympics without a crowd, man. I don't even know if I can stomach it. I don't care who playing or if we just sweep the competition and win all the gold. If there's not a crowd, it's going to take away from it, and usually it take away a little bit of interest too. I had to stomach some of these sports to even say without the crowd. So hopefully they do the right things, man. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Not to cut you off, bro, but I gotta be honest. I don't think they did the right thing to begin with. They should not have done the Olympics this year. I understand the financial burden that it places on Japan, but I really think the world at large should have stepped in and said, look, bro, y'all got the raw end of the deal on this one, okay? We understand that. But what we're going to do, we're going to do the right thing. Everybody else that we promised the Olympics, we just got to put y'all back a little bit, okay? We're going to let Japan get it in 2022 once everything is situated, and then we're just going to put the Olympics back either the 2 years into 2024 or basically 2026. Either way, we gotta not do this. It's not safe to do. The people, because again, the vast majority of Japanese people are saying no Olympics here. We don't want it. We don't want the other people coming that may have the variant spread. They read just like we do. They know certain countries have COVID problems, United States being one of them. They don't want any of those athletes anywhere in the building. So even if they did approve to where you could come check out the games, there will be a lot of Japanese people that's going to say, I'm not going to that. I'm good. And again, the problem also is the fact that you're saying, well, we're determining whether or not we're going to let Japanese people come. That don't make it no good for none of the other people in all the other countries. Because in the end, if you just go make that and not allow anybody else to come through, I'm not trying to see a Japanese-based Japanese Olympics with the world be semi-involved. Because there's countries that's saying, okay, if our people can't come, as in the people to come to see us, we don't want to be there. There's some countries saying, Japanese people, how many of y'all vaccinated? Nope, not having that. The vast majority of the athletes already are vaccinated, but in the end, you still put them in harm's way. Oh my. All righty then. We get some good gifts out here, y'all. Appreciate it. But bottom line is no, I am not. I repeat, am not trying to see a half-hearted Olympics, a piece of an Olympics, a semi-pseudo Olympics, like basically the year when the Russians didn't come to the Olympics in Montreal, and the year when the United States didn't come to the Olympics over there in Russia. No, that's not no real Olympics. If those two countries aren't fully invested, appreciate it. If they're not fully invested, then it's not going to work. Plain and simple. And then there's that part, H2. Japanese is not going to recoup all that money.
Not at all.
Almost like a COVID boycott. I mean, exactly, y'all. I mean, let me know what you guys think on it. Should they be having the Olympics and we still in the midst of the pandemic and most of the people in the country where they have the Olympics won't even be vaccinated or maybe won't even be allowed to go to the games themselves?
That's the scary part. They protesting like we ain't getting vaccinated.
Yep, but shout out to all y'all sending the gifts here in Vigo. Appreciate y'all. 76 and 80 Olympics were boycotted. Exactly. Like I said, the Montreal and the Russian Olympics were not fully attended. So there's a lot of people to this day that say that didn't really count like that. I mean, for example, you have Nadia Comaneci they got the perfect score in the Olympics and gymnastics, but in the same token, she wasn't competing against everybody that could have possibly even competed against. That's why when you had that argument between her and Simone Biles as to who was the best Olympic gymnast of all time, they go with Simone because she competed in Olympics where everybody was involved and dominated. And keep in mind, it's starting to play out in some of the other major sports that are involved in the Olympics as well. For example, in the world of tennis, on the one hand, you have this young lady here who is saying that, yeah, I'm absolutely going to come and participate in the Olympics. That is this young lady right here. That would be Miss Osaka. However, because she still is at odds with some of the major people in tennis, she is saying she's not doing Wimbledon. Same reason that she left the French Open, because they are going to require her to do press junkets and whatnot, and she is not comfortable doing that right now. She does not want to do it, so she's not going to do it. So you got her on the one hand, then you got Serena. She still has yet to decide whether or not she's going to go to the Olympics, and her sister too, for that matter. And keep in mind, we are less than 3 or 4 weeks away. And one of the major people in the sport is saying they may not participate. Today, Rafael Nadal has announced he will not be part of the Olympics. They say Roger Federer is set to make a decision in regards to the Olympics. So if the major tennis players are not playing in the tennis portion of the Olympics, why bother?
Yeah, it'd be a complete waste, unfortunately. It's starting to make me nervous how things starting to unfold right now as far as the Olympics. Like, is it really gonna be worth watching?
Right. Golf is also a part of the Olympics. Did you know that? Several of the major golfers in the world are saying, I don't think I'm going to the Olympics. That's an issue.
Man, that's not looking good at all, man. I really want to see how everything's gonna shape up and how this is gonna actually go, man. Because if a lot of the athletes that we know and love are not gonna be in this whole situation right now and really anticipating in this game, I don't know, man. It's like I might not even watch it. It might be me boycotting the whole Olympics.
Shout out to 40C. We see you out here in the Bigo. Really, tennis is going to be a waste. Without the major players, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree, totally.
But then let's expand it even further. Think about where we at in the NBA right now. Okay, granted, we got the playoffs going on, and pretty much right around the time the NBA finals end, it's time to go play in the Olympics. So pretty much anybody that's in the NBA finals, they probably not going to be on the Olympic squad. So let's just say it's the Nets, for instance. That means you're not going to get KD, you're not going to get Irving, you're not going to get James Harden. And understand, even if you could, at that point, you got Harden that's still going to be somewhat banged up. You got KD still coming off of the injury to his Achilles, so playing extra ball may not be in his better interest. You got LeBron that's still dealing with that ankle injury, even still. He's been seen limping around a little bit. Of course, you already know what's going on with Anthony Davis. He's still healing up from his injury. You got Kawhi that probably won't make it. You got CP3 that's older and still has that shoulder thing that might be bothering him. I mean, it's so many people in the NBA, the major players. I mean, Embiid is hurt, so on and so forth. It almost would be a waste to have that at the Olympics. Hell, even in the WNBA, you got Diana Taurasi out for Phoenix, and that's one of the major contributors. You got Sue Bird on her last leg playing injured over there in Seattle. You know, Seattle Storm is balling. WNBA, shout out to y'all. Seattle Storm looking like they gonna take over and win again in the WNBA. That is my early pick for the championship. But yeah, Hugh, I just don't think it's a good idea, man.
Yeah, man, I would like for it to be scrapped, man. I've seen a few guys who I admire, like Devin Booker. You know, he was saying he was going to go in and he was all in. And, you know, certain players were announcing they were going to be in the Olympics. But if you don't got the heavy hitters, man, a lot of the guys, like you said, from having the whole bubble situation and then right after had them play again, man, it's not going to be a lot of healthy guys, man. And if it is, it's not going to be a lot of the ones that we want to see over there playing in the Olympics.
Okay, Rhoda said it's crazy that they're trying to force Osaka to talk to the press when they don't do it to their white counterparts. And it's true.
Absolutely.
It be that way. I mean, bottom line, she is telling you that she is going through an issue. What does she need? A damn doctor's note? Please let Naomi not talk to the press. It messes with her mental health. I mean, what the hell, dog? Some people, they are cut out to be the athlete. They are not cut out to do all the other things that come along with it. We have had those athletes in the past that shy away from wanting to talk to the press. We have those athletes like the Marshawn Lynches that are very charismatic, but when it comes to talking to the press, answering those questions, they rather not. Somehow, some way, we as a society need to deal with those people a little different. I mean, I'm just saying. I understand you be wanting to know what's in their thought processes and whatnot, but sometimes you just want to let them write it in. And then, of course,
Bro,
there's this
what she said.
day period. That lets me know right now, H2, you have not watched one WNBA game this year. The Mystics suck. Go look at the record, man. They suck, bro. It ain't happening. Right now, you're looking at the Seattle Storm, Vegas Aces, Connecticut Sun. One of those three teams will probably win the WNBA championship. Anybody else you trying to throw in that mix? Maybe not. The Mystics definitely not. They do not have a good team, sir. They do not. But anyway, me checking in, Manuel 1961. What's going on, guys? We are doing the sports podcast known as GameTime Audible, talking some Olympics. Went with a little WNBA talk in between. Regardless, I still love. Yeah, you gotta have love for your hometown team or your favorite teams in the WNBA. I ain't mad at that. Phoenix is my personal favorite, but right now they kind of middle of the pack. And like I said, without Diana Taurasi, they only gonna go so far. But they do got some good people on that squad. Skylar Diggins is now a part of that squad, and of course, Brittany Grinder, my home girl, love her. Thank you for the gifts, Marmy. I see you. But okay, let's get back into this basketball talk now since we back there instead of WNBA. And at some point soon, we're going to discuss what they need to do to fix that, because I heard a couple very interesting discussions about that the other day. But yeah, let's go back into the NBA. I now want to talk about this team, Hugh. You started to go there a little bit earlier. Boston Celtics. What's your observation, sir?
Man, I was talking to you about that, and I wanted to know, like, eventually who won in that one, man. No disrespect. I do like the fact that they were aggressive, you know, and like you said, it might have been one of Danny Ainge's last things he did when he was in office. But
I did a little research in regards to that, Hugh. No, it was actually Stevens that pulled that trigger today.
I feel like it's good because you know what was weird to me too, man. Being on Twitter, I follow Al Horford's sister. She's definitely a sweet sight for sour eyes. Just to let you know that.
Okay, hold on. You got to rewind a little bit. Please inform people exactly what happened today in regards to the Celtics before we get into it.
The Celtics traded away Kemba Walker and a 2021 first-round draft pick. And they will also be sending a 2025 second-round draft pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And in exchange, the Boston Celtics would get Al Horford, the 7-2 center over there, Moses Brown, and the 2023 second-round draft pick.
And, of course, you can find out these facts and many others on the Future of the Game personal blog there on Facebook. He will tell you more about that later on at the end of the show. But, yeah, here's the thing, Hugh. I'm looking at this from both angles. On the one hand, we know Boston had to do something. The team as present destructive, it wasn't going to work. And in the end, they made the easy move first. Kemba Walker, he never really fit into that squad.
Not at all.
In the end, he was the replacement of Kyrie, which basically was the replacement of Isaiah Thomas. A small guard with shooting skills. The difference is Kemba Walker, too damn streaky, defensive liability. He did not fit into the overall scheme of things there. They should have been traded. They should have traded him at the trading deadline. This crazy overdue.
I didn't know too until I looked into it a little more. He'd been having issues when he first got there the first year, and he was saying he wanted out then. So they basically just gave him his wish.
Okay, we got
Man,
the.
I saw that, man. That's what I kept looking at the screen for. That was a nasty situation, but it was more or less Joel Embiid, man. That was dirty as hell. When you get a chance, you'll see the highlight. He do a lot of dirty, undermining stuff sometimes, man. But that was dirty because Steph Curry shot the basketball. He went up for the rebound, Joel Embiid, and he was leaning into John Collins and kind of shot the ball and landed on John Collins. Then got up and then you know how he like I'm not trying to do nothing. I'm not trying to start nothing, but yet you pushing him into the other basket. You know how they have like the pole and everything, the cushion. Yeah, he got them all hemmed up against there, but he's still doing one of these numbers. And I'm like, dang, man, it's like I thought that was a little too extra, man. But at the same time, the game is so close and it's so intense right now, that I definitely was still keeping an eye out on it. But yeah, man, back to what you said though, as far as with the Celtics though, I just feel like they're still trying to figure out their identity, man. Right now, we know Jalen Brown, and we're going to have Tatum still. I think that the nucleus is with Al Horford. They're going to have a veteran present. 7'2" kid, Moses Brown got high upside, but he's still young, man. So it's like, okay, is that the only move y'all going to make? I still think they need to make more moves because I don't still feel like that made them better than the 76ers. It didn't make them better than the Bucks, and it definitely ain't making them better than the Hawks right now in this whole scenario. So I'm just feeling like right now they still need to do something, and we still got questions on that team. I
Okay,
still feel
I,
OKC got
I,
out of it.
I think you're not looking at this particular bill in the proper perspective, Hugh. This plain and simply was not a move to necessarily make them better. Granted, Horford helped the locker room, but in the end, Kimball Walker makes too much money. It was a
Yeah.
salary, plain and simple. And the reason why you get Horford back and some of the other things was to even out the salary
He's not
situation.
getting paid as much.
Bottom line is that move don't make them no better or no worse in terms of what they got in Boston. The problem is Oklahoma City. What the hell are you doing? Understand what we're looking at, folks. I need you to understand something. And Hugh, think about this for a minute. We got the Oklahoma City Thunder, who basically 10 years ago was in a situation where they had KD, they had James Harden, they had
Russell Westbrook,
three
Reggie Jackson.
future Hall of Famers, folks, on that squad. Hell, you could marginally say that if you add Derek Fisher to the mix, that's possibly a fourth Hall of Famer somewhere down the line. All those people were on that squad at the same time. Okay, we're not even gonna talk about the Jacksons of the world and Steven Adams and all of that. This is a team that went to an NBA Finals, a team that almost went to the conference finals a couple more times. And for whatever reason, and their grand wisdom of things, decided to trade away all these great players. And let us not forget the other Hall of Famer that they had, by the way. Be remiss not to mention Chris Paul. So, yeah, that's a fifth Hall of Famer that they had during this time. And now you got what? To do what with? Understand, Oklahoma City has the same problem that a Detroit or Indiana or perhaps a Portland, Sacramento that you had. There are nowhere places to go. The top tier athletes, the top tier free agents, they're not trying to come play in no Detroit on their own accord. The only way you get those types of people to come play in places like that is either A, you have something to build around them so they win some championships and get notoriety that way, or B, you pay them a hell of a lot of extra money that you would not have to pay them at some of the other places they would play. That's the only way. And right now, the way Oklahoma City is set up, in 10 years, it may not be no more Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, they talking about trying to get their Seattle franchise back. I know a lot of people was disgusted at the fact that they let this go on for so long. Only thing right now I see Oklahoma City have, and to their advantage, is a lot of draft capital. They got a lot of first, second round picks, but what's that still going to do though when you're constantly in rebuild?
Okay, apparently it's a lot going on in that game too. Now Rose saying the lights just went out.
Oh yeah, I was all in, man. I was crazy. The fans had their phone on. Yeah, it's a little theatrical at the end of this game. 93-94, the Sixers up, and there's 2 minutes left. So yeah, this is definitely gonna be a really good finale.
All right, well, yeah, we got a lot of crazy going on in that one. Okay, H2 checking back in. Having 3, 4, 5 good players only makes a good team if they know how to play team ball. Exactly. Like I said,
Absolutely.
you may look up like we did in '04 and get the going to work Pistons, where we had enough good players to formulate and come together and make a good squad. Even though in the end we did end up with a Hall of Famer when you think about Ben Wallace, the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. But that being said, that was a team that shouldn't have even won. Remember, they beat a team that had 5 Hall of Famers on it. When you talk about Shaq, Kobe, Peyton, the big dude. Help me out. I'm getting old. Come along. Thank you. And somebody else that I'm forgetting as the 5th person. Not to mention, if I remember right, Derek Fisher was on that squad. So that's the 6th person throwing that mix. But anyway, y'all, no.
Did you say Gary Payton?
Yeah, I did say Gary Payton.
Okay.
I really don't think that was a good move for Oklahoma City at all. At all. But no, Boston clearly is not done because they still got to figure out who stays and who goes between Brown and Tatum. And personally, I think that's a no-brainer. You keep Tatum, Brown, you get as much as you can get for him. At the right age of 23 now, he does have very good draft capital. He is not making a ridiculous salary at this point. You trade that brother, you get the best possible player you can for him, and you get you a first round pick to replace the one you just traded away.
Yeah, because they two out the metals, that reminds me so much of the KD and Russell Westbrook when we said you can't have them two fellas over there playing, man, because it got to the point too many crucial games where Westbrook could take the shot when he wasn't supposed to, or Kevin Durant to take shots, and it got to the point where you looked at it and you seen that Russell Westbrook technically was trying to do too much in that whole situation when he was in the spotlight. KD just basically stepped back and didn't say too much. He just waited for the opportunity and went where he felt like he can win. And you can't be mad at him for doing the Darrell Reeves hitman thing. He was like a hitman for hire. But I definitely like the fact that now that when you look at it, that with those two, that one of them will have to leave. And I feel like we know Jason Tatum is the best thing for their franchise. So at the end of the day, they're going to have to get the best package they can get for Jalen and get a good player to help them out and get them over the hump. But yeah, I still feel like it's still going to be like a rebuilding, or they're going to tweak a little bit over there in Boston to try to get that team set up to where they could compete within a year or two.
Okay, well, in the end, they in rebuilding mode over there in Boston. I like I said, unless they make some blockbuster 3-player or three team trade where they can basically replace the good with the good, I don't see them doing enough to basically be more than a fringe playoff team the next couple of years. Remember, all the other teams in the East that have made the playoffs, they will definitely be improving, especially if you look at Brooklyn. New York will probably make some good moves. You got Philadelphia that will obviously do something. So you want to climb back over all of those guys just to get to that point. And I don't think they got what it takes to make that happen, especially knowing that now they need a coach as well. And that's going to play a key part in how that goes also. Okay, H2 is asking, who is the newest team in the NBA? Basically, right now, the new teams are the ones that's been there for a while. The Oklahoma City Thunder, Minnesota Timberwolves, those teams. And as you see, most of them, they ain't really accomplished much. You got Orlando, who basically a finals, and that was it. I mean, I understand that most of the teams that have won in the NBA are the more established teams, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Pistons, the Bulls, those squads. But yeah, I would say the newest team will eventually be Seattle. Seattle will definitely get a franchise, whether it's one of the teams that's in the league now that moved there or their own franchise sometime in the next 5 years. I can pretty much see that happen. But okay, we want to talk about one more, well, a couple more NBA things, and we need to kind of speed it up here, you. So we're about to go to the bonus lightning round. You ready?
Yeah.
So I want to try to get it all in. Okay, let's talk Dallas Mavericks for a minute. Go for it, Hugh.
Dallas Mavericks, I think right now, man, they might lose my man Luka Doncic. I don't know how much of an influence it was to get Rick Carlisle out of there, or that was just a decision he wanted to make. But at the same time, I just don't really feel like that franchise is somewhere where he will want to stay. Definitely with all the stuff going on with Christoph Porzingis. So it's either he's going to stay if Porzingis leave and they're going to get a coach that he wants in there, or he's leaving and he's going to get a max deal elsewhere.
Bottom line, Luke ain't going nowhere. Have you forgot who the owner is?
Yes, sir.
Ain't no way in hell he gonna let Luka leave. He will make Luka Doncic the highest paid player in the NBA if necessary. He ain't going nowhere. As far as I'm concerned, Luka is untradeable. Period. You could not let that dude leave town salty whatsoever. Because in the end, it will come back to haunt you. You get rid of anybody else on that team that he ain't happy with. The GM, the ball boy, the parking lot attendant for Porzingis, whoever the hell it is. Luka don't like them, he gotta go. But bottom line is you keep Luka. You make him as happy as you possibly can. You break him off. You pay that dude like he's a Kardashian, okay? You don't let him leave. So I'm not worried about what Luka mad about. They will make it right because that owner will make it right. He wants to win a championship in the worst way. And you definitely do that if you find the right pieces to go around that young man. Because he has the biggest upside of any player in the NBA as far as I'm concerned. Okay, hold on. So what about this lady being interviewed for a head coaching job in the NBA? That is part of the rumor mill that there's a couple ladies that's being considered for NBA coaching jobs. It may very well be the year it happens. As you know, that would be Vicky Hammond. She is the assistant coach at this point for the San Antonio Spurs, and she is actually going to get some interviews. I do believe, based on what I have seen of her coaching skills, she is ready. The question of the year is the NBA ready to make that move?
Yeah.
It's 2021, y'all. I say you make it happen. She can't do no worse than some of the retreads that y'all keep putting back out here. For example, we got Stan Van Audi. 1 year. 1 year. Done. And why is he gone? Let's talk about that for a minute. We're going to talk about one Zion Williamson. Let's talk about it, Hugh. What do you know about that situation?
His family ain't too happy. I don't even think they want him in New Orleans the way everything goes down over there, man. Just the whole environment. And then he got into it. I don't know if y'all saw it. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and look at Zion fight at it was at a nightclub he was at, man. That dude knocked out 3 people. It was like he was beating up 3 people at the same time. But I don't think his family just like that atmosphere with him being in there, man. It's just not really a good place for him. It's a party city, but at the same time, I just feel like he would be better off in a big marketplace. And we were saying that he's going to go to a New York or a big market team, but I don't see him sitting there and settling because just like AD, his welcome, man. He felt like what his welcome was or how they embraced him was definitely not there before. He just want to find him another home and somewhere where he felt appreciated and basically right now where he could get to a championship. We want to go to more of a championship caliber team.
Thank you very much for the gifts. I see y'all. Okay, look, here's the thing. As you get to digging into this story a little further, you find out Zion seems to be one of them brothers. Just happy to be in the league. He ain't putting in the work, Hugh. They say he ain't putting in the work. He ain't working on his weight. He ain't working on his game. He is partying a little bit in New Orleans, starting to get popular with the ladies and whatnot. They say he might be a little bit of a trick daddy, so to speak. You know, very popular down there in some of the adult nightclubs and whatnot. Yeah, when your superstar has not completely bought in, that costs you your job. Plain and simple. Bottom line is Zion is definitely a good player in the league, a very good player, in fact. But one, in order for him to step to the next level, just like with Ben Simmons, just like with Giannis, needs to get in that gym, work on some more of that perimeter game, work on some more of that defense, those types of things. Definitely work on, I say, dropping a good 20, 30 pounds, because that still put him at about 250 and 260. And with that lightning quickness that he had, that first step, that explosiveness, where he can jump out the gym, you lose 30 pounds of that and add that to the game, ooh, baby. But that being said, he is not a number one. That is the other problem. He is not a number one option. He needs to be put on a squad with a veteran presence that will definitely work with him in regards to his game and let them dominate. Again, we want to talk about making moves. There's one I can see. Let's go ahead and ship Zion out to Portland. Let him play with Dame Dollar. Y'all take CJ. Y'all take Nurkic. Y'all take a couple draft picks. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, because when you say the player ain't buying in and he kind of doing his own thing and just living life, that's not a good sign for you when you know that you want him to be a potential player that help your team get to the next level. Right now, he's definitely not the first option over there, man. Because Brandon Ingram, man, I really think like he rejuvenated his career. Because at first I was like, he's a decent player when he was in LA, but when I see him over there now, I'm like, man, this is his team, and Zion just went along for the ride.
With Brandon, that dude built like this, okay? Y'all see this? KD look fat compared to Brandon Ingram, all right? That is the dude need to work on his body, okay? Granted, he is bigger than when he started the league, but he is frail. He gets pushed around easy. He cannot dominate because he does not have a dominating body, okay? He is also a streaky shooter as well. So that's the problem. You see, and shout out to the young ball who made Rookie of the Year. Shout out to LaMelo for being Rookie of the Year. But you know his brother definitely got to be feeling some type of way. It's basically Serena and Venus all over again. Venus, yes, good player, championship type player. But LaMelo is the GOAT of the family, okay? And the thing is, will that help the his older brother? We will see. Will we ever see the middle brother pop in the league at some point? He has been playing in the G League. Ain't heard much about it, but he's there. So yeah, there's that. Bottom line, New Orleans is a bit of a cluster. They got a lot of work to do with that. They need to move around some parts. Zion ain't necessarily one of them, but in the end, if you're not getting your money's worth out of Zion, you might as well move him while you can. Because in the end, if he ain't happy there, as soon as his contract up, he's leaving anyway. And then you got to worry about him going to one of the big places. Because at that point, if New York ain't did what they needed to do, here's this big ass truck of money. Come on, Zion. We'll make you a superstar here in New York, baby. Damn.
That's what he looked like right now. Overweight Julius Randle.
So Mr. Anthony and his wife going their separate ways. I don't know, H2. Carmelo and Lala been kind of shaky for years now. I really don't know what to make of that particular story. For all I know, they've been. I mean, it's just like kind of with Kim and Kanye. They stopped being together years ago, for real, for real. It was pretty much just for opinion's sake. I would say right now the only reason why it lasted this long is because Lala is invested in having her son have his father in his life, and because of that, I think that's part of why they still together at this point. But they said she filed. Well, in the end, if that's what happened, that means that she's ready to make that move now. But like I said, I don't think they've been together for a long time now. You rarely see them making public appearances together or any of that. Have you seen Lala's Instagram? Lord knows I have. Lala. Boom! Woo! I mean, smoking hot. I don't know what Carmelo. I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. Ain't too much you can upgrade with that, bro. You seen her, man. You know I ain't lying.
Oh yeah, you know that, man. I know he has to be the clown, donkey of the year, man.
Look, H2 hate. Don't hate, bro. Don't hate. You know what it is. Brother, see what he see. But anyway,
Yeah,
y'all.
it's gonna be a game. It's gonna be a game 7.
I do believe that the NBA is setting up to have a big trade season once the season is over. There's going to be a lot of moves made during the off season. Be ready. Be nice if my Pistons make some of them moves though, because I'm not trying to see this season again. We suck. Look at H2 talking about he can always upgrade to the hologram. Oh Lord. You know Carmelo too big for you, H2. That dude like 6'8". You can't deal with no big brother like that. But I can handle that, y'all. I can handle Lala though. Trust and believe. Yeah.
We're gonna say that for after dark.
Okay, but all right, y'all. Let's get back on topic. My bad, y'all. Lala is fine though. But okay, we didn't cover most of the bases. When we come back from this quick commercial break, there is one more topic I want to talk about. We want to talk about a little baseball, what's going on with there, and some of the things I think we need to do. He got money, dude. That's facts. I ain't mad at that. Dude made a few hundred million in the league. If that's your motivation, I ain't mad at you at all, bro. But yeah, Game Time Audible will be back. When we come back, we're gonna talk a little baseball and then wrap up the show. That's you, that's me. Let's talk to me.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea-sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comfort together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
All right, we are back. Game Time Audible, me, Hugh Lee. He just stepped out for me for a second. That's all good. There he is. I said short commercial break. Hugh, you weren't supposed to dip. We got 5 more minutes to the show is over. So that being said, let's get right to it. Baseball talk, y'all. Baseball is introducing a new rule change. Bottom line, we talked about it a week or two ago on the show. The foreign substances in the baseball. Remember my demonstration about the baseball and the rubbing of the substances onto the baseball and using it to grip the baseball and so on and so forth. You know, I always get thrown off by exactly what the camera is showing me. But anyway, yeah. Now they saying we catch you with some of that goo-goo, some of that stickum, some of that spider tack, any of that on the baseball, you about to get that 10-game suspension. We're gonna pay you though, but you got to sit down for 10 games. What do you think of that, Hugh?
I think that's bogus, man, because when we look at it too and we see what the Houston Astros did and get them only getting a slap on the wrist, I feel like they should have did more about that whole situation. I mean, them dudes was mic'd up and they had people telling them, you know, the signals of what the swing got and what not the swing got. Come on, man, that's crazy that you didn't say really much or even put no more emphasis into that. But yet you're going to suspend guys if they have a little something on baseball, which you knew that was going on all along and it never been talked about. And now you want to crack down on it because you want more offense. Man, they need to get their act together, man. I feel like right now that's what makes me like I'm not really that interested in them right now, man. I'm a little disappointed in this whole ordeal. They could have did better than that.
Bottom line, baseball, you have a problem. Your problem is that the young people that are growing up, they are not growing up playing the game like me and you have. First of all. Second of all, they are growing up seeing the game for what it is, 3 or 4 hours of people taking all day to do things. And this instant gratification in life that is 2021, that don't play out well. Yes, we do have a lot of people still taking their kids to see baseball games and whatnot, but that's the older heads. That's many of us end up dying out like the dinosaur. I think baseball will continue to die out as well. You got to do things to make the game more interesting. I'm going to throw a few of them out there. We're going to talk about some more of them next week. In fact, that will be y'all homework, you know, back in the day when we had Big Meat doing Dish and Tea. Shout out to Big Meat and them. He oftentimes would give you homework to work on. So next time when we get a show, we can talk about it. This time's homework is simply this. What can you come up with to fix the game of baseball? I'm gonna throw out a couple quick ones because then we gotta go. One, y'all gotta figure out a way to make the time shorter. So the easiest thing to do, 9 inning games, no more. No more 9 inning games. We need to go to the 7 inning model. They basically do it in softball, they basically do it in Little League World Series and whatnot. We need to do it in baseball. 7 innings, flat out. That helps in terms of that. Bottom line, most of the starting pitchers, they don't go 9 innings, no way. They're only going 5 and 6 innings. That helps in terms of the bullpen arms and all that stuff. First off, okay, we still talking about this. Lala filed for divorce on Thursday in Manhattan Supreme Court. All righty, well, like I said, in the end, if it is, it already was. Like I said, they are not a couple. They are for appearances only. Go to the Instagram page. It tells the story. You rarely see them in any pictures together. You got him doing his thing, her doing her thing. He's spending more time in Portland and whatnot. Her still in LA. They were at odds about where to live. It's been tumultuous, the whole relationship. There's been reports of both of them cheating at some point. It doesn't surprise me. In actuality, I only care because Lala fine and single Lala very much intrigues me even more than married Lala. Beyond that, I don't really care. But back to the point at hand. Baseball, that's problem one. Problem two, you got to figure out ways to get the fans in the stands. Y'all need to start doing some giveaways, y'all. Y'all need to say, okay, come to this game because in the 5th inning, we giving away a car. Flat out. Baseball can afford it. You can afford to pay basic bench player $1.5 million, $2 million a season. You can afford to put up $5,000 to $10,000 and come up with a brand new car every other home game. You do that, you get booties in the seats, plain and simple. You might win a whole brand new car, or hell, y'all could go real outlandish. And once every homestand, we giving away a house, straight up, brand new house. Here you go, $100,000 crib. All you gotta do is buy a ticket and show up, and you are eligible. It's sad because, and that's part of why I like softball actually, because it's like you look up, damn, it's 5th inning. It's time to get it in, or it's gonna be over. It's like them 2 extra innings, that 8th and 9th inning, them are the extras. And again, I like how baseball has changed the extra inning rule where you put somebody on second base automatically and they get hit in, you win flat out. They basically need to keep that rule. But bottom line is we need to shorten the time of the game. We need to make the game more exciting in that way. And we need to do some gimmicky shit because that's what the young folks like. They like things for likes. I promise you, you will get all type of young people in the stands. If you tell them, yeah, we about to win this car tonight. Let's go down here. Comerica Park will be packed every time.
I think that'd be a good thing to do, man, just to have bigger giveaways and things of that nature to make people more intrigued so they could buy in. What I do like too is like you were saying with the whole 7 inning thing, because I like the fact when they have double headers, man, or if something happened to where they couldn't play and had to make up games, they only go 7 innings anyway. Those games be some of the most exciting games you can actually watch as well. So yeah, I think that that's good, man. It'll definitely help with the speed of the game too. And I think that unfortunately, I love the steroid era because that was the most home runs we've ever seen. That really made it legit again. But since they're not doing that, I like the fact that they're trying to do certain things and tweak certain rules, man. But yeah, they definitely need to do something because it's definitely starting to get to the point where they're starting to lose their sizzle.
All right. Well, bottom line, baseball does not have a slaughter rule like softball, but that might be one thing you might want to implement. So anybody in the room, anybody that sees this and the rebroadcast, and keep in mind, some of y'all do catch the rebroadcast of this show. Can y'all chime in, please? Let us know what you think of the show. Are we doing things that's turning you off? Are we saying things that we want to expound on more that you want to hear? We want to know your thoughts, people. So that being said, please let us know what you got going. I understand it's Friday, and that's probably why we didn't catch a lot of y'all today. But for those of you who usually check out the show and did not check in, please hit us up on that and let us know what's going on, what's your thoughts, what sports you like for us to talk about. what questions you would like for us to address. Before we go, we of course got to let Hugh Lee do his thing.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Y'all already know what time it is, man. Tune in to the blog. Go to PureToTheGame.com. For the most part, anything that's coming out or any news that you hearing, I usually get it firsthand. Come over there and kind of check me out, see what you want, man. And like I said, man, tell me what you like, your likes and dislikes, and whatever you want to see more of, or more sports you want me to put on the page. Let me know, and I do that as well. But for the most part, any news fix you want, I usually have it on hand, firsthand. So yeah, man, go over there and check me out. Pure to the game.
And there you have it. Last comments before we head out. H2 says, I love the show, minus the ugly jersey, of course. Okay, well, there's that. I ain't got on no jersey. She ain't talking to me.
Yeah, it's funny to me because where your squad at in the NBA?
I'm gonna leave that at that. All right, y'all, we about to head on out. Is the game over yet, Hugh?
Yeah, I was saying that it's gonna go to a game 7, 99 to 104. Philly pulled it off.
Okay, well, game 7 it is.
Too, man. So they had a game plan against him. They looked at it like they wasn't gonna let him win, and that's what happened. He had like 15, 16 points, 11 rebound, like 11 assists. So yeah, he didn't look so hot tonight. So
okay,
yeah, man.
So I and see what's going on with it. We'll be back at our regular time next Wednesday, y'all, 9 p.m. So make sure y'all check in. We'll have more NBA playoff talks. And remember your homework. What would you do to help fix the game of baseball? We're going to talk about that. And, of course, talk a little bit more Olympics and anything else that's going on with sports. So until next time, y'all be safe. Remember, pandemic getting better. They're relaxing a lot of things, but let us not be fooled, y'all. We still got it going on. Y'all wear that mask. Y'all stay safe. Y'all keep social distancing when you can. We got to be safe out here, y'all. Until next time, Hugh Lee, EB, we did our thing. Y'all do y'all thing. And we'll catch you next time. We out.
Peace.
GameTime Audible is a Nighthawk Network presentation.
What's good, E?
Hold on. All right, y'all. We'll see you.